атакуют с юго-востока! Новейший противник на юго-западе! Вражеская... Враг сзади по левому флангу! Противник на северо-востоке! Противник! Северо-запад! Противник на юге! Они атакуют с юго-востока! Новейший противник на юго-западе! Вражеская...
In the cheese justice system, lactose-based offenses In the cheese justice system, lactose-based offenses are considered especially heinous.
I hate this game.
The Big Cheese, the dedicated cheese detective who investigates these dairy disasters, is the only member of a cheese lead squad known as the Special Fondue Unit. This is her story. I hope you guys can hear me now. I swear, if you guys can't hear me, I'll be so freaking sad. I'll be so sad. No joke. I hope you guys could hear it. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's go. Welcome, Stitches. How you guys doing? Listen. Fondue, yes. You can't hear me. You're lying. You're a liar. I can tell you're lying to me right now. I can feel it. I can feel the lies. You radiate your lies. Alright. But yeah. How you guys doing? I hope, what's it called? Ow. I hope you guys like this. Ow. Nice hat, loser. I like my hat. You don't like my hat, huh? I like it. I think it looks fancy. I think I have the coolest hat of all time. You guys are just jealous of my hat. But anyway, so I decided to do something a little bit different than the regular. You're just jealous. Yeah, I can tell. I can feel it. But yeah, I want to do something a little bit different than the average, what's it called? Is that Animal Crossing? Maybe. I found it on Google. So if it's from Google, it's from Google. I'm sorry to tell you. If it's from Google, it's from Google. I wish you were playing Detective Pikachu. If I understood the Nintendo stuff better, we'd totally be playing Detective Pikachu. But yeah, I want to do something a little different, okay? Wow. It's not quite a tier list, okay? Not quite a tier list. Baggins the Shire. He's got my brushes. But yeah, I want to try something just a little different.
Wow.
And I want to see, how you guys Everything is so loud. You guys have so many channel points. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm actually welcome, Porkable. How you doing? You're in freaking Twitch too. Okay. I understand. Listen, I know you guys. I understand. Okay, I get it. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to try something a little different today. So, I have my cheese files. I will not necessarily put them on a tier list. 7,900. Oh my god. You guys have too many channel points to make everything much more expensive. Because everyone must suffer. No, I'm just kidding. I have a whole bunch of different stuff to do. And 12K. Okay, listen. You guys are just built different. That's all I gotta say. You guys are all just built very different. 11 bajillion points. Yes, I can't even count that high. Been here since the beginning of this. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay. But yeah. So I have. Okay. I'm gonna give them a letter. Okay, I'll give it a letter. But I'm not gonna have the actual tier list up. Because I made you guys pretty backgrounds. 12K, wow, just got here. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna provide you guys some information on each of the cheeses. And I hope you guys will like it. I worked very hard. I worked very hard to fix it up for you. So I hope you guys like it a lot, okay? So I invested in cheese stonks. I can tell you should be invested in cheese stonks. I'm like Dogecoin, but better. I'm absolutely better than Dogecoin. But yeah, I have lots of information for you because I actually really missed you this week. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I was sad. I was very sick to the point where I was not able to do anything except for lie down in my bed. I feel it got really cold this week and I just got sick that fast. Yeah, cheese coin. Invest in cheese coin. I saw this one photo the other day of some guy who had like 12,000 bitcoins and he sold them for like one singular burger, like 2010. I'd be so sad. I couldn't even go to Costco. That's absolutely right. Yeah, I'm glad I'm feeling better too. I don't know. Maybe my constant Costco trips made me sick. So I don't know. Maybe I miss being able to use a schmack. I can tell. I can see that. I can feel it. I can feel it. Okay. Anyway, so without further ado, this is lactose in order special fondue unit. Listen, let me be cheesy. Let me be cheesy. We love the cheese. But yeah, I made cheese files just for you. Just for you. I ate well. Yes. I eat decently. I had an entire piece of fish today. So you should be happy. Oh, I am well. Yes, I'm mad well. You can't kill me. I'm unkillable. Even germs that are about even dysentery can't kill me. Not to brag or anything, but I'm not. I will not die of dysentery. Not in my lifetime. I refuse. I simply refuse. So, without further ado, this is the cheese files. Okay, there's gonna be a little thing on the bottom, but just ignore that. So our first case is a dastardly duo named Asiago. Asiago, I will not die of mold. Can't cut the cheese. I won't let you. But yes, this is Asiago, known as the Two-Face. Now you might ask,
I got
why?
a bad feeling about this.
Why is it known as Two-Face? Well, let me tell you, okay? So there's two kinds of Asiago, okay? Asiago Prasato and Asiago de Alevo, okay? Asiago Prasato, I call it Two-Face. This is my opinion. This is what I call them. Asiago Prasato is the younger one, okay? It is aged for a much shorter amount of time, so it's younger, okay? It's younger, okay? Yes, I'm the kind of person that has all of the freaking, all those things, like a giant billboard in my house with all of the all of the red lines everywhere. That's me. It's younger. It's a milder cheese, okay? And Asiago de Alevo is aged for a much longer period, so it's much more complex. So the thing is, when you're dealing with a perpetrator like Asiago de Alevo, you have to realize that even though it might be older, it is not less dangerous. It can be just as dangerous because the thing is, it is a lot more complex. There's so much more behind it. Is this cheese like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Exactly! There are two different kinds. And the only difference, well, there's lots of differences. They're made differently. Very differently, actually. And so, it's actually really interesting, okay? You might think that the younger one may not be it might be a little more dangerous, right? Because it's younger, It's got more spunk. It's more alive. You know what I mean? But there are so many differences. Are they spicy? It depends. For you, maybe. They differ in the aging process. Asiago Prasato is much younger and fresher. It's aged for a very short period of time, 20 to 40 days. Okay? So not super long. So it's a mild aging process. It's softer and milder, okay? But the Alevo, it's survived all of the gruesomeness of the aging process, if you know what I'm saying, It's still alive, round and kicking, no matter what. I will definitely do a cannibal stream. That is absolutely something I could do, okay? It's seen things, yes. It is aged. It's knowledgeable. It's got a complex mind. It's very different from each other, okay? And that is why I call these two a hardened veteran and a young, fresh face, right? I call them Two Faces because even though they're the same cheese, completely two different things. Two different things, yes. So that's the difference between Asiago Pressato and Asiago de Levo, okay? So Asiago is made out of milk, cow's milk cheese, okay? That's it. That's it. And so, you have to realize that it's like very, very different. I really like it, and it can only come from certain areas. So, Asiago cheese specifically has received a protected designation of origin status in the EU. Okay? So I have a report card for it, right? Asiago. Look at all the photos of it. I got lots and lots of like long lens photos of this freaking cheese. So there's two kinds. And it's got a lot of history, a whole lot of history, okay? It has a long history dating back to the Middle Ages in the Asiago Plateau region of the Veneto Alps in Italy, okay? And since it has that protected designation of origin, you see that little thing, protected geographical indication, right, in the EU, meaning that in that area, if they produce it with the traditional production methods, then it can get this specialty and it can be super duper expensive. The term Asiago is actually protected, and only cheeses in specific regions can carry the name, especially with that like protected geographical indication. So it's really interesting. You can use it for all different kinds of things, and it's used in a cultural dish called risotto al Asiago. Okay, so it's just really cool. It has a rind, a very thin, edible rind. Okay, yes. Clearly cheese. Yes, it's got some nutty undertones. Very nutty. I take my cheese seriously. But, my bad. Yes, so it's just interesting. But you have to realize it's very different from each other. Specialty, yes. It's got a very aggressive aroma, and it can be very different from each other. But, yeah. So this is Asiago. So since I feel like Asiago has such like a different vibe between itself, I would place it at like an A tier threat. I feel like it's pretty versatile, you know. It's pretty spicy, you know. Cheese tasting when I have money for cheese. When I have money for cheese. And here's the interesting thing. This one actually has an edible rind. Not all cheeses have an edible rind, and I will show you what's probably more dangerous to eat, so don't eat every cheese. Here's my second case, okay? I got here for you Gouda, okay? Also known as not so goody two shoes. That's what I call it. So Gouda's got actually a whole lot of history behind it, a lot of tradition and history behind it. And so it's a semi-hard Dutch cheese known for its rich, creamy texture and a sweet nutty flavor. Okay, it comes in various ages. What is an S tier? Probably Gouda. It comes in various ages, each with a different kind of taste and texture. And it's traditionally made from cow's milk, okay? But sometimes you can find some variations that use goat's milk or sheep's milk specifically. Now, Gouda can come from a range of age, okay? It can either be really young to extra aged, okay? And this cheese has been around for like a freaking million years, okay? Like a million freaking years. It's been around since the 12th century in the Netherlands, meaning that it's actually one of the oldest cheeses that's still in production today. Absolutely no joke. I'm not even kidding. It is super duper old. Yeah, it's super old. It's super old. Here, let me show you. So it's actually produced from the city in Gouda. I don't know where that right photo comes from. I did not want to say that it's from Gouda, but, you know, I just wanted to make sure, you know. So on the left, you see that cathedral thing right there? That is the city of Gouda. So that's in the city of Gouda. And it's very famous because Gouda cheese originated from there. And I thought that was super cool. If you go, like, I believe the Netherlands and, I forgot where another place will do this too. But, maybe Belgium. I also know that, so this like photo on the right here, you see this one. So you see my pointer. This. You see that? They carry the cheeses around on those things. So they're called cheese porters, and they use these things called barrows. So that green thing is called a barrow, and they carry the cheese around the markets. So they just have this cheese sitting out. And the interesting thing about Gouda is, if you saw on here, you see this red rind around it. That's all wax. So bright orange, yeah. This is wax. So this wax is really interesting, and it dates to like medieval tradition. I remember seeing someone actually dipped it in the wax, and it's like this red stuff. It's super cool. It's one of the most popular and widely consumed cheeses worldwide. And you know, the characteristic round shape, you know, it's a circle round shape of Gouda, is a traditional design that dates back to its historical production. You know, they like to weigh the cheese at the at the cheese market, and large rounds of Gouda cheese are placed on wooden sledges. And what? You thought that was red cheese? No, it can't be red. You can't have red cheese. You can have orange cheese though. But it's super duper cool. So they'll use actual like wooden sledges and actually like weigh it using like the old fashioned, you know, like how they used to do the balances, where you would like, you know, have to put one weight on one side, and then you have to put like the thing you're trying to weigh on the other side. I eat mine with the skin. Do you eat your Gouda with or without the wax? I don't know if people eat the wax or not. That's a good question. But I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, people use that wooden sledges, which I think is super duper cool. And I'm certain that this stuff has to be very heavy. I mean, I feel like, okay, look. That thing is like the size of your torso, right? Like, I feel like if you pick it up, it's pretty heavy. There was like a photo of this girl here up here. She's like holding I can't show you it, but she's holding cheese. I have like a photo. She's holding a cheese, and it's like the size of her freaking torso, you know? So it's like pretty intense. I don't know. And as you can see, I mean, a lot of people there, they wear traditional Dutch costumes. So she's wearing, you know, the Dutch hat. You know, the hat with like the three, like the one on the top and the two on the sides where it goes upwards. So she's wearing that. A lot of them tend to wear the traditional Dutch outfits. So it's been here for a very long time. And I think it's really interesting. So Gouda can have a natural rind. So, you know, like as you can see on this right side here, or this, these are natural rinds versus the red wax rind, which is obviously you shouldn't eat that. It's wax. I don't believe you're allowed to eat the wax coating, but I can't tell you how to live your life. So if you eat wax coating, that's not my fault, okay? I told you, don't eat the wax, okay? If you eat the wax, that's not my fault. That's not my fault, okay? I promise. So Gouda, you know, it's very popular. It's used as a table cheese or in cooking. Yeah, the weird foldy thing, yeah. I return, Stinky. Share that stream. Thank you. It's very popular globally. It's known for its approachable flavor profile and versatility. So, I mean, I've had Gouda before. It's pretty good. It is very nutty with some caramel undertones. And I think those caramel undertones are pretty pronounced. I would say don't eat the wax. Do not eat the wax! Please do not eat the wax. Please, I'm begging you. But yeah, I think on my bucket list, definitely getting myself some real Gouda would be super duper cool. But yeah, there's something really interesting about Gouda specifically, okay? So one very special, interesting thing about it is that some Gouda, so really, really aged Goudas, right? Like really, really old ones, you know, like the ones with like canes and freaking walkers and all that stuff. You know, really old. They have crunchy crystals, okay? That'll develop, right? And they're prized by like cheese enthusiasts for their unique texture and flavor. So people care a lot about, yeah, I will never trap anyone in my basement. I promise. I will not turn you into Gouda in my basement. I will not dip you into wax and keep you there as my wax figure, I promise. I swear on my Gouda life. I promise. But yeah, Gouda's pretty good. You can do all kinds of stuff. As you can see, like you see this texture on the inside, it's pretty interesting. And it depends on how it's aged. It can be very crumbly, And it could be very smooth and creamy, like as you can see here. So this is very crumbly down here. I believe this is more of an aged one down here, and this is more of a younger one, as it's not as crumbly. Although I could be wrong on that, but it's very interesting. It does date back to the medieval times, and very cool. They still can make it in the like traditional process as they used to. So I think it'd be super cool. But yeah, I thought that was really neat. So, what I would say for Gouda, since I think it has a lot of history, cultural significance, versatility, and it's got those crunchy crystals, I feel like it could leverage all of that to be a threat. A giant, big old threat. Like it could attack me so aggressively. So I give it triple S tier threat. Triple S tier is dangerous. It's like the worst criminal out there. It's absolutely doing all of the evilness. So I feel like this is one of the most dangerous ones, especially the ones, yes, crystal cheese. See, case number 3. All right. So this here is cheddar cheese, aka the cheese of a million faces. This right here is a sample of 8 different cheeses. If you thought being two-faced was bad, try 8 or 10 or 30. I'm serious. There's too many different kinds of cheddar cheeses out there, and you can never track it down. It changes its face way too often. It's got like the best like Botox in the system. Yeah, they got crystals in the Gouda. It's very cool. Cheddar is the best cheese. Here's my thing. Okay. There are so many kinds of cheddar cheese. Now, given the fact that there's so many, you might ask what cheddar cheese actually is. And I'd ask myself that question too. I thought it was super weird because there's so many different kinds of things with it. So the kind of definition that I found is that it's a firm, smooth textured cheese that ranges in flavor from mild to extra sharp, okay? So it's very widely produced, obviously. There's so many different kinds, you know. Sharp cheddar is my fave. Yeah, I don't blame you. It can be super mild or super duper sharp. No joke, it can get in between. It's not even always yellow. You can have white cheddar. Isn't that wild? It sounds like a philosophical question. Exactly. But yes, here's just a small sample of all the different kind of cheddar disguises. Right here, you see all those? 8 different kinds alone. Now, this perpetrator can go by all different kinds of names. Sharp, mild, extra sharp, aged, white, also somehow yellow, smoked, Irish, farmhouse, cloth-bound, cave aged, and even more. Guys, I can see. And so, cheddar cheese is traditionally made from cow's milk. It is very versatile. It can go to all kinds of things. All kinds of different things. So it's usually made from cow's milk, right? But it can also be made out of goat's milk or sheep milk, which I've never had, but I'm sure is probably interesting at the best. I feel like it's probably kind of funky, I'm not gonna lie. So cheddar cheese can come in any kind of age, from young and mild to aged and sharp. That's something I've learned a lot. Shut up, Purple Mario. I'm trying to listen to cheese. I agree. But yeah, it can go from like a few months to like a million years of aging. I'm not even joking. It like can age for so freaking long. And that's what I've learned. If you let cheese age for a long time, it'll get more and more sharp and have an even more like complex, taste profile. So I thought that was really interesting. I found out a lot about it. And so it's like the production of cheddar, right? So the way that you make cheddar cheese is that you curdle milk with rennet, okay? And then you press the curds down, right? and then you let the cheese just sit there. You just let it sit there. You can have it like age in a cave too, which is wild. That's how they make cheese swords. That'd be so crazy. I think cheese swords would be awesome. But how do they age without getting moldy? That's my question. I think what they do is like they do kind of get moldy. Some cheeses actually do get a moldy rind. For instance, one of the ones I will talk about is Camembert, which actually has an edible moldy rind, which I thought was super weird. Isn't that weird? Anyway, the process of producing cheddar actually contributes to the development of its characteristic flavor and texture. Cheddar cheese actually has its origins in England, dating back to the 12th century, so it's pretty old, just like Gouda, you know. It was initially produced in the English village of Cheddar in Somerset. And over time, the production methods have spread worldwide, which I thought is super duper cool. What type of cheese is cheese? I'd say Munster cheese, American cheese, all of the cheese. I am the cheese tea. Fun fact, cheddar is one of the most widely purchased and eaten cheeses in the entire world. And the orange color of cheddar is commonly associated with the addition of annatto, a natural dye, to the milk. So what they do is they add the dye in, they'll put the rennet in, press the curds down, and let it age, which is wild. I think it's so cool. It's super ingrained in British and American culinary traditions, because you know, British and America are kind of like, you know. And it can go like, it's all kinds of dishes. It's in all kinds of dishes, right? From like, you know, mac and cheese to cheeseburgers to like just regular sandwiches. It's in all kinds of stuff, okay? You see, like, look at how many different colors there are. Just in this one photo by itself, you got orange on the left, you got white up in the right-hand corner, a different one. It's dyed, yeah, some of it's, I never would have guessed. I would have never guessed that one. But yeah, I think it's super cool. One really interesting dish I found that used this is called a British Ploughman's Lunch, which is a classic British pub lunch. I'm not British, so if this is wrong, I apologize, British people. Featuring cheddar cheese, bread, pickles, and other accompaniments, which I thought was interesting. It's like a cheese grilled cheese. Get on my burger cheese now! I'm not burger cheese. British. Yes. It actually has a natural rind, but some cheddars might have a wax or cloth covering. Like I said, cloth bound. That's one of those things where it might have a cloth covering on top of it. But pretty much all cheeses, I believe, I think all the ones I've seen, except for maybe goat cheese and sheep's cheese, always seem to have a rind, which I did not think that cheddar cheese had it at all. Thank you for buying the ramen, Mike. Thank you, I appreciate that. I just saw it, my apologies. But yeah, it can range from all kinds, from mild and buttery to sharp and tangy. Older cheeses are usually more tangy and sharp. And then it can also, like, it can go from all kinds, that's what I'm saying. It can either be firm and smooth, or it could be like, you know, not as firm. But it's really like rich, earthy, and slightly nutty. And it lives for freaking ever, okay? It stays on the shelf for like 1,000,000 years, especially aged varieties, which I thought was pretty cool. Some artisanal cheddar cheeses, the rind protects the cheese while it ages. That makes a lot of sense. And that's probably how they prevent it from getting moldy, right? Some artisanal cheddar cheeses are produced using traditional methods, including hand cheddaring. I think I only like cream cheese and cottage cheese. Only cream cheese and cottage cheese lacks a rind. That's a good... That makes sense. How about goat cheese? Now I'm curious. I actually don't know if goat cheese has a rind or not. That's a good question. Actually give all of her bod soys. Yes. So anyway, some artisanal cheddar cheeses are produced using traditional methods, including hand cheddaring, which involves sacking and turning the curds by hand, which I think is pretty cool. So I think, given the fact that this one is this perp is very hard to track down, you know, it changes its face every day. You never know what name it's going by. I give this triple S tier threat, because how the freak am I supposed to arrest this cheese if it's constantly changing its face, changing its name? I can't find it at all. So this cheddar, triple S tier threat. There's a reason they say, let's get this cheddar. Fourth case, okay? feta, aka the femme fatale, okay? What's your question, Kari? What's your question? Those deli swords. But feta is like the most fetogenic, see? Most fetogenic in existence. Look how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful she is. I love her so much. Okay, go pee. Feta cheese is a very crumbly, as you can see, tangy and salty cheese with a slightly grainy texture. And it's often used in like Mediterranean cuisine and salads. I think it's pretty cool. Pee in a cup. That sounds like a doctor. Gotta pee in the cup. Feta cheese is usually made from sheep's milk or both sheep's and goat's milk, but sometimes, if you really have to, you can use cow's milk. Usually it's not aged for very long, which makes sense because usually when it's aged more, I feel like most cheeses seem to get really hard and flaky, versus like younger cheeses tend to be very soft and squishy. You know, like I'm very squishy because I am a triple S tier plus tier threat cheese. That's why I'm tracking out all the other cheeses. So none of them can like, you know, they can't all come together and threaten me. That's why I have to do this. Yes, this is the kiss from feta. That is not mine. This is feta, the elusive feta. But yeah. So the production of feta involves curdling milk with rennet as well, draining the whey out of it, and then allowing the curds to set in molds. And then you put some brine in there. You know, you get some brine in it, and you let it sit there for a while. It actually has ancient origins, so this is pretty old. Yeah, feta's hot. Feta's super. She's fetogenic. You know, beautiful. She's very unfetagettable. Very close with feta. I can't help it. She's too pretty. But yeah, it has ancient origins, right? She's super like classy lady. She's believed to have been produced as early as the 8th century BC in Greece, which I find pretty cool. She's actually a classic. So I think it's super cool. The name feta comes from the Greek word feta with two T's, feta, which means slice, and it reflects the practice of slicing the cheese for serving. And traditional Greek feta is protected by, again, the geographical indicator that's specific to the EU. It's super duper cool. Obviously, you guys know Greek salad is one thing that, you know, will use feta. So it's a salad kind, loosely defined. That's like basically cheese salad. So it's a bunch of feta cheese with tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, and olive oil, you know. And feta adds a salty and tangy flavor because she's pretty tangy to this iconic dish. It's known for its flavor profile of being very tangy and salty with a slight acidity, and it pairs extremely well with lots of different kinds of dishes. Feta cheese, most of the time, does not have a rind. Instead, it's often stored in a brine, okay? Which, as you said, prevents it from, I believe, you know, going bad. So the brine actually, instead of the rind, will protect the cheese. So she got something really special. She's like in a bath all the time. Unfetaggettable, yes, unfetaggettable. That's her aroma. It's very distinct. You'll know it when you smell it. Maybe I just have a strong smell. You know, maybe I just smell it very aggressively. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think she's beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. Look at that beautiful little photo. There's like, let's see, this one has olive oil and rosemary in it, which is cool. Oh, but yeah, it's a key ingredient, as I said, in Greek salad, also known as horiatiki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize, Greek speakers. I do not speak Greek as much as I wish I did. It's a stronger smell, especially if it's still in the brine. Exactly. When you open it up, you would smell it. Off topic, but would you go over? Would I ever go to a con? Like an anime convention? Yes. A cheese convention? Yes. A milk convention? Yes. Food convention? Yes. I would absolutely go to conventions. All conventions. Like a fan meetup. I don't think I would ever be invited to one. I didn't know about the brine, so me neither. I think it's super cool. She's got a lot. She's a very, very classy lady. very historical, literally classy because it's from like, you know, Greek times, ancient Greeks. You know, I think that's super cool. And I feel like feta is very different. I feel like it's almost like you can crumble it or you can cut it, right? Because when you make horiyatiki, you cut it up. You don't usually crumble it in horiyatiki as far as I'm aware. At least not that I know. You know? So you cut it up, make a salad. You crumble it on top of salads, you know? And that's also good. So I feel like feta is very versatile. She's got all the right textures. If you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. You know, this noir detective is fallen for the femme fatale. The femme fatale. My apologies. Is feta single? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? Exotic, yes. She's got like the freaking olive colored skin and all that stuff, you know. Get a room, you. Yes, feta is beautiful. All right, case number 5. I have a total of 10 cases. Peak salad cheese, exactly. Feta is peak salad cheese. You can literally make a whole salad with just the cheese alone. Just the cheese. The 5th case I have today is camembert, okay? Now, before I did any research on camembert, from what I saw, oh yes, I forgot. She is absolutely triple S tier plus thread, okay? She is absolutely dangerous. Do not go anywhere near Fatal. Do not go anywhere near her.
Cheese.
Yes. Do not go anywhere near her. She'll cut you like a knife, both emotionally and physically. So, here's my 5th case. Camembert, yeah, she's super rare. I'm gonna make like a cheese gotcha game just for you guys. We got camembert, which I call the Emperor's Faith, okay? Very connected, you know. He's got some like little, you know, like hands in all the politics. I'm trying to keep all the feta to myself. No, I would never do that. I would never do that. I'm just telling you to stay away from her for your own sake. For your own sake, because she's dangerous. She's dangerous. You know what I mean? Local cheese VTuber arrested for trying to marry a wheel of cheese. This is quite cheesy, yes. I mean, it is. I am quite full of it. I'm quite full of cheese. I'm sorry. My apologies. My rind will protect me. Never had it. Camembert is very smelly. That's what I knew before looking this up. I've never smelt it, okay? I personally, but yeah, welcome you Tazitas. I personally have never smelled camembert, but what I've known, what I've heard about it is that it smells a type of way. That's what I've heard. It's a very creamy, soft, ripened cheese with a white, bloomy rind. Now, when you hear that word bloomy, okay, you kind of have to think about something there, okay? It's bloomy. So, this rind actually is mold, and it's a velvety white mold that grows on the outside of the rind. But you can eat it. You can eat it. At least that's what I saw online. You're allowed to eat it, okay? So, I saw another thing talking about how camembert is actually going extinct because people like brie more, because brie is very similar. It looks kind of like bread. It probably is. It's usually made from cow's milk, which is usually unpasteurized. So unpasteurized cow milk. But if you're not cool, you can get pasteurized milk. You have to have the pasteurized milk because the FDA says you have to. The only delicious cheese mold possibly. Extra protein, yeah. If you're looking to bulk, now is the time to eat camembert. If you can handle the smell. So, it's usually aged. Welcome, Sekatори. It's usually aged for a short period of time. Usually around 3 weeks to a month. And during that time, this cheese developed its characteristic creamy flavor and complex textures. So, I don't know if you guys have kind of noticed, right? But the younger the cheese, usually the squishier, yes, the younger the cheese, the squishier it is. So, it tends to be very squishy if it's younger. And if it's older, the cheese, the moldy resistance. Not the moldy resistance! Oh my gosh. Not the moldy resistance. I don't know. You guys can eat the mold, okay? So to produce camembert, you curdle the milk with Renee, you know, and then you have it mold and you sauce it. The cheese is then left to ripen until it develops its creamy texture and the distinctive bloomy rye. This cheese originated in the late 18th century in the Normandy region of France. It was first made by Marie Harel, and its popularity grew rapidly, becoming one of the most iconic French dishes. Yes, they salt it. I'm not joking. And so, camembert is often associated with the phrase, Neufchâtel is for lovers, but camembert is for royalty, because people viewed it as a very premium cheese. Okay? It's a symbol of French culinary excellence, and is often enjoyed as a dessert, as you can see on the left, right, or top left-hand corner. That's kind of dessert, camembert. Or as part of a cheese platter, so you can just eat it, like, kind of like brie, kind of. You can bake it, like you see. It's baked in the left-hand corner, and on the top right-hand corner, it's like melted down. It do look really, it is fancy. I mean, you have to do all this stuff, and it's got mold on it, so I don't know. But yeah, it has a very rich and buttery flavor with hints of mushroom, I wonder why, and earthiness. It's got a creamy texture, as you can see. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know. If there are super bugs, probably. People are probably getting sick. I don't know. I don't know. I've heard it's had a very strong smell. Yes, this will absolutely be on the test. At the end, I'm gonna have like a whole like checklist. And if you guys don't answer correctly, we're gonna sit here and I'm gonna look at you disappointed. I feel like the weirder the food, the more expensive it is. Probably yes. I feel like this is very expensive. Supposedly, I believe that it is said that camembert is one of the favorites of Napoleon. One of his favorite mushroom. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, exactly. So it is said that camembert is actually a favorite of Napoleon, but I'll have to check that again. There's gonna be a quiz. Yes, of course there's gonna be a quiz. Yeah, you guys are getting tested. I'm volunteering to dip into the moldy camembert, of course. Go ahead. It's often associated with a special, you see this special wooden box packaging right there. Often associated with that. And it's typically enjoyed at room temp. So you gotta eat it without the fridge. No fridge allowed. So you gotta eat it at room temperature to fully appreciate its creamy texture and complex flavors, and to allow the mold to get even worse, probably. I don't know. The last part I made up. But did I study? Yes. I studied. I thought you guys knew there was gonna be a test. I can't believe you guys didn't study for the test. This is like a horrible dream. It's like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to study. But since this cheese is so well connected, you know, politically, it's got like a dangerous vibe to me. You know, it's got poison because it's moldy, and it's apparently the emperor's favorite. So I would say A+ tier. Because I feel like it could like resurrect Napoleon, and he would kick my butt, and I would die. So, A+. As long as Napoleon is still dead, I'm fine. But if it's not, boom, baby. But yeah, is there gonna be a curve? No curve allowed. Not to brag or anything, but everyone fails my class. Cheeses are enjoyed best at room temperature. Is that true? Is that all cheeses? It has too many connections to take down. He's a menace. Exactly. It's a menace. Camembert is a menace. Plus, most people would not say the name correctly. You feel like I could take Napoleon. I disagree. Maybe if he had like the liver issues. Maybe if he had like dysentery. I do not have the same military strategic mind as our good friend, the Emperor. So I feel like I don't have the political needs necessary to bring down Camembert. I want to see the ultimate 1v1 cheese versus Napoleon. Yes, I'm gonna get like Warhammer 40k. I'm pretty sure he's in that. She is a menace, Professor. Yes, I am the professor that sits there and is like, wow, I don't curse any of my classes. Everyone must suffer. But yeah, and then like they just hate everyone and their office hours are not available ever. But yeah, it's known for this wooden box, apparently, and the rind. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I feel like it's pretty dangerous because how am I, as a detective, supposed to bring down something with political ties? There's no way! I can't do anything! I could try, but I would fail. I could try, but I would fail. Absolutely. I could take on Alexander the Great. No, I could not take on Alexander the Great. No, he's got like a horse. I don't even have a horse. You only need the edge. But yeah, here, this is my 6th case. Chèvre, aka bah. It's sheep. It's goat cheese. It's goat cheese. So this goat cheese is cheese made from goat's milk. It comes in various forms, including fresh, aged, and flavored. This is kind of a very like far-reaching cheese, kind of like cheddar, right? Bah, yes. It's a bah, but it's bad. Feminine Wiles. Feminine Wiles. But yeah, I think I like goat cheese. How much is this course? $70 million takes down Alexander. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like I could fight him. I don't know. Maybe if I had a horse named Josephine. I'll steal Napoleon's horse and I'll fight Alexander the Great on a horseback made from wasabi. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. Can we do historical leaders she can defeat? Yes, I love that. That's a great idea. I will do that next week. No joke. But yeah, I find this cheese to be pretty good. I like it. I think it's like very soft. I love goat cheese. The problem that I have, the best I could do is $3.50. $3.50. That's not enough. Get out of my class. No, I'm just joking. You can audit. You can audit my class. How's that sound? You can audit all of this great information. To be fair, I'm not a cheese professional. I will do a series on cheeses and I will give you better information than today. This is just like just a general, from what I saw from a quick little thing. So do not take my word as Bible or gospel or nothing like that, okay? If I have to do corrections, I promise I will do corrections. I will give you the right information on cheese, I swear. No one else will give me a run for my money. Yes, you are overflowing. Stop telling me free content ideas. Don't tell me anything. But yeah, so it's made only from goat's milk, okay? If you make it from like cow milk, it's not this. It's not goat cheese, obviously. Cheddar's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Cheese is my new cheese reporter now. Yes, I'm the cheese news reporter. I know everything about cheese. I think I should know more about cheese. Listen, if this is not right, I promise I will fix it next time. Goat cheese is super cool. I love goat cheese. It's really versatile, right? You're gonna start charging. Yes. But yeah, it's called chèvre. It has a rich and buttery flavor with hints of mushroom and earthiness. So a lot of mushroom and earthiness, you know, everywhere for some reason. It's got a lot of cultural significance in lots of different areas, right? Lots of different areas. And it can have different rind types depending on how it's going to be produced. You know? So depending on how old it is and how it's produced. Some have a natural rind, while others might be coated with herbs, spices, or ash, which I find pretty cool. So like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but pretty often in all of the don't chase me. Pretty often in like lots of goat cheeses, you'll see like all of the stuff on the outside, you know, like would it be like coated in like, you know, cranberries or like almonds, or even I've seen like blueberries and stuff. I know, that was interesting. And it's really interesting. I like goat cheese a lot. It can vary a lot though, and it can either be really affordable, or it can be really expensive. I've seen really expensive, like tiny, small amounts of goat cheese. Because fuck my life. That's horrible. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. So I think it's pretty cool. It can be very like creamy and spreadable, or it can be very chalky and crumbly. So when you have like older kinds, it can be kind of funny, a bit goofy. But yeah, so chèvre is pretty interesting. I have some typos on this slide. My apologies. Fuck Mike's life. Yes, I agree. But yeah, some artisanal chèvres are flavored with herbs, spices. Get me out of this glue trap. Cheese is trying to turn me into a wax figure. No, you will never escape. You will never escape. Don't worry, you're stuck. You're stuck. Only cheese. Only cheese, yes. But yeah, I think it's super duper awesome. But yeah, I have to make some edits to this slide. My apologies, class. I forgot to fix it. But it has a distinct tangy and acidic flavor, okay, with earthy undertones. Okay, it's mild. So fresh chèvres, so younger chèvres are mild, while aged versions can have a more intense and complex taste. I had an amazing chèvre a couple months ago. It was really good. I got it from Costco actually. I got it on a cheese platter. It was incredibly good, like shockingly good. Oh my goodness, it was very sweet. And that's the thing about goat cheese. It can either be very, 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 very sweet or very, very tangy, right? And it just depends on how you do it. And that's the thing about cheese that I find so fascinating. That shit sounds fucking immaculate. It is immaculate. It's so freaking good. Especially if you put like stuff on the outside of it. It's wonderful. Absolutely amazing. So, and you know, you can pair it with lots of stuff. Fruits, honey, all of that stuff. Oh, I recognize that, right? But yeah, I think it's super cool. You can do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different flavors on the outside. You know, you can add all kinds of different stuff. I think it's really cool. It can be both sweet and savory, which I think is super awesome. Anyway, given the amount of versatility in goat cheese, the amount of cultural significance that I feel like it could leverage against me, right? But also considering the fact that it's usually very soft, I would give it an A-tier threat, but triple S-tier taste. Because it's very good, very versatile. But, I also feel like, I could take it in a fight. I feel like if I had to fight goat cheese, it's probably the most likely that I would be able to defeat. Deceptively refined, exactly. I feel like if I had to go hand to hand with goat cheese, I could win that fight. However, if I had to go hand to hand with a goat, I might lose. So it depends on what stage. Like if the milk is still inside the goat, I would lose. But if the milk is currently in the cheese, then I would win. That's what I think. So that's my opinion. That's what I think personally. My personal opinion is that I would win in a fight against goat cheese. I could definitely arrest this goat cheese on charges of it being absolutely bad. Bad! Only fight milked goats. What the what? But, yes. Milk the goat and eat the cheese in front of it easy. Assert your dominance by milking the goat. Alright. Next one. Manchego, aka I call it crisscross. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, my very real Costco co-cost wholesale executive member card. Yes, you can buy this cheese at Costco in a rather large quantity, like the size of my freaking head. I'm serious. It's wild. We still not gonna be serious. Ah! Ah! Oh no, it's okay. Very cursed moment. I did not expect this to go the way that I don't know what I was expecting. That was not it. Alright. Manchego! Okay? Manchego! It's a firm sheep's milk. It's very firm, okay? I believe it's probably aged for a long time because it's pretty freaking... This thing is hard. I've like smacked it. You know, if you smack this thing, it'll like damage your hand. So I would lose in a fight against Manchego for sure. Like if I had to punch this thing, I'd break some fingers. I don't know why it's so freaking like hard. Even everyone horny for feta. I'm gonna make like a feta next week. Tune in for feta fan art. I will make mommy feta. How's that sound? Feta Fental. I was about to build a wall with Manchego. You can totally build a wall with Manchego. Absolutely, it's a fetish. That's horrible. Yeah, you can absolutely build a wall out of this stuff. I guarantee you, if you made a wall out of this and you actually managed to like a chetish, it's horrible. We will hold you to the feta waifu, sure. Okay. I'll make feta, I promise. I will make you feta lady just for you. Just for you. Wow. If you can figure out a good way to get these to stack and stay stacked, yeah, you probably have like a better wall than the Great Wall of China. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you could definitely make a very good wall. Get yourself a Costco membership, okay? Get yourself a Costco membership. Buy a whole bunch of Manchego with 4 giant pallets. You know what? You got an impenetrable Great Wall of Manchego. Exactly. You got an impenetrable... You got an impenetrable wall of Manchego. So it's a firm sheep's milk, okay? Sheep's milk cheese with a distinctive crisscross pattern on its rind. So you guys see that? That's why I call it crisscross. A battle cheese uses cheese wheel. Are you serious? What battleship? That is wild. Did it actually do damage? Did it work? What kind of cheese? I need to know! Oh my god. I need to know what kind of cheese it was. But yes, so I call it crisscross because it's got that very fancy, took out the sales. I want to know this nuclear bomb level cheese too. Exactly, what is it? I want to know. I need to know. But yeah, it's a firm sheep's milk cheese with this distinctive crisscross pattern. As you can see here, class, I hope you guys are all paying attention. Take some notes. There's a crisscross pattern, you see. It has a nutty and savory flavor profile and is often enjoyed as a table cheese. So you usually just eat it, like, you know, you don't really cook with it as much, okay? It's exclusively made from the milk of Manchega sheep, which are native to the La Mancha region of Spain, okay? French mimolets. The story goes that Napoleon was in a pitched battle against the Prussians when suddenly he ran out of cannonballs. He reached for the next best thing, wheels and mimolets, loaded the cannons with, and boom, let the fly. And it worked? No freaking way that it worked. What is mimolette made out of? I've never heard of it. I need to make like a whole PowerPoint for this. This will be the next test. I'm not joking. The next test will be French mimolette. But yes, Manchego because it's from La Mancha region of Spain. So, you know, it comes in very young, fresco to semi-cured curado and aged viejo. So each age category has a different flavor profile and texture. So it's very different depending. It's made out of cheese. What kind of cheese? I want to know supernova type. I don't know why that laugh track scared me. Anyway, the production method of Manchego involves curdling the milk with an egg, pressing the curds, and then brining, so kind of like feta. This cheese is aged different durations to achieve its desired taste and texture. This cheese is made out of cheese. Manchego has a long history dating back to the Bronze Age. It's named after the La Mancha region in Spain, where it's been produced for centuries from the specific sheep, okay? Very specific sheep. The distinctive crisscross pattern is an identifier and is created by the molds that they use during the pressing. This floor is made out of floor. This floor is made out of floor. This cheese also has the PDO, so it's the protected designation of origin cheese, meaning it can only be produced in the La Mancha region if it really wants to be Manchego. So as you saw on my Costco version, you see that traditionally made using only premium milk sourced from farms where sheep roam the La Mancha region in Spain. La Mancha only! La Mancha only! Imagine getting splattered by a cheese ball can. I would be so sad. If I got knocked out by French mimolets, I will come back to life. I am not dying after getting smacked by some freaking cheese. That is not the way I'm going out. I refuse to die that way. That is the worst freaking way to die. I've seen like a million of these freaking like strange death icebergs. That is not one of the ones I've seen. Did anyone die from the cheese cannon? I would be so mad. I would be so angry. Anyway, at Twos and Tapas, there are worse ways. How did you die? I don't want to talk about it. Rep Cheeser, she was absolutely fucking smacked by a hard-ass fucking cheese. Exactly. I got absolutely, I got freaking halved by the cheese. It went straight through my stomach. No more stomach, no more happiness. Anyway, Tapas, is the rind, as beautiful as it is, you cannot eat the rind. This one you cannot eat. You see that really, really fancy texture on the inside? You see how fancy that is? Look how cool that is.
FBI, open up!
Look how cool that is. Sometimes I want to still hear, sometimes I still hear Chichi's voice. I can still hear it. Gianmarco Chiapparini, an Italian man, has been crushed to death under thousands of wheels of Parmesan-style cheese. Oh my god. No! That is horrible. I'd be so angry. What the freak? That is the worst thing I've heard in my whole life. He was buried when a shelf broke in his warehouse in the Lombardy region on Sunday. A fire... Oh my god! That was last month! No way! No freaking way. There was another cheese cannon in Argentina and 2 sailors. What is up with cheese cannons? What kind of freaking boats are carrying around that much cheese? They're like, you know what would really work right now? Jesus, I want to go out. Yes, feta mommy, squish me between your thighs. That is how I will die. I will be suffocated in the feta cheese. That is how I will go out. I cannot believe there was another cheese cannon or getting 3rd-degree burns because this cheese cannonball is hollow and full of molten cheese. That is horrible. Cheese cannons need to be redeemed. That's a good idea. Who the F had the idea of let's put cheese in the cannon? Cheese cannon, yeah! I freaking love it. Load the cannons. You know, when I became a sailor, I never thought I'd be putting cheese in cannons, but here I am now. Yeah, I think I would be on strike. 1841, when you make cannonballs, what you gotta do, what you gotta do. Exactly, when you buy cheese, you're gonna need a carrying license. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. Oh my god, 1841 would have to be cheesy. You know, people take cheese very seriously. Like, people care a lot about cheese. Can't find anything on the cheese cannon. Sad. That's sad. I gotta look it up. I'm very curious. Now I need to have like a full... I'm gonna go through the history of warfare and how cheese is a part of it. My weekly Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, 50 minutes each. That's like some Pirates of the Caribbean humor. Yeah, I got a jar of cheese. I got a jar of cheese. Oh, is that? Look at my jar of cheese. Man, oh my gosh, man. I freaking you know, I've never actually seen those movies. I wish I actually saw those movies. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Manchego, 1, if you load it into a cannon, and 2, if you throw it at me, it's probably taking me out. So, I'll have to consider. If there is a cannon present with the Manchego, if it gets its hands on a cannon, then I'm done for. And I'm not getting this perk. But if I can manage to get cheese cannon. Types of cheese history and military use. That is horrible. Are you serious? No freaking way. I gotta look up the cheese Wikipedia right now. Listen. There's no way. There's no way it's been used in the military history.
Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! SpongeBob, careful! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob!
Cheese. There's so much cheese stuff. What the freak? So much stuff. History of cheeses. Oh my gosh. Mass production. But yeah, I think it's I'm joking. I was curious. Anyway, given the fact that I do not think even if someone hurled a thing of manchego at me, I don't think I would survive that. I don't think I would live past the manchego like smacking my face and leaving the crisscross pattern on it. So I would say pretty high death rate. I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty high thing. It also has a PDO label. I have not seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I really wish I did. Manchego is just edible bricks. Exactly. Like, you can just eat it if you want. Younger manchego is soft, semi-soft, and slightly crumbly. While aged manchego, which is usually what people eat, is more firm and granular. I would say this manchego is probably... I think it's all. I feel like they aged it for I feel like it's a long time. The first 3.5 are great movies, and the rest are just garbage. It's garbage! It's garbage, Chizu! Garbage! But yeah, manchego is often paired with quince pasta, also called membrillo, and almonds in traditional Spanish serving. This protected designation of origin ensures that authentic manchego follows specific production standards and comes from the designated region in Spain. Garbanzo, yes. So I think, given the fact that number one, you can use manchego defensively, right? Like, it can be defensive. Like, it can go and be a wall. And it has the offensive, because you can fling it at me with like a trebuchet or something, right? It feels like it would kill me. So I'm gonna give it double S tier plus threat. That's what I'm gonna say. My 8th case is Havarti. I call it artsy because you can get super artsy with it, okay? You can do all kinds of stuff with Havarti, okay? I have Havarti. It's very good. You can use it all kinds of ways, in my opinion. Havarti is a semi-soft Danish cheese known for its smooth and creamy texture. It has a mild, buttery flavor and is versatile in various culinary applications. So, you know, it's pretty versatile, you know what I mean? Half construction material, half food. Exactly. You can build a house, you can destroy a person's life, or you can eat it all in one thing. I think that's a pretty good bang for your buck. Literally. You fired out of a cannon. So, Havarti is traditionally made from cow's milk.
I got a bad feeling about this.
The milk can be either pasteurized or unpasteurized. Sometimes. Unless you live in the US, because it's probably going to be pasteurized. And it's usually a young cheese, which is why it's kind of squishy. Havarti is so... Yes, it is! It's so good! Havarti is usually enjoyed when still relatively mild and creamy, so usually young. Some variations such as cream Havarti are especially creamy and mild. So the production of Havarti involves curdling milk with Renee, pressing the curds into molds, and then aging the cheese for a short period of time, and then flavoring with herbs, spices, or whatever else you want to put in there. It is for real so much. Has everyone in the chat had Havarti before? I hope so. So actually the name Havarti, it originated in Denmark, and the name Havarti comes from the Danish word have, meaning cream, highlighting the cheese's creamy texture. It's known for its excellent melting qualities, which it really melts really well. If you put it on pasta, it's so good. It's so good, yes. I have not. I'm sorry, Stitches. I'm sorry that your life is not as cool as mine. I'm just joking. It's really good. It is super good. I don't know. I'm not Danish. So, according to Google, it says that it's a cultural dish is a Danish open-faced sandwich called smørrebrød. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a Danish dish where Havarti cheese is often used as a topping on open-faced sandwiches, paired with ham, cucumber, and dill. You might have to make a grilled cheese. You should use Havarti. Havarti is so dill Havarti. Yes, I actually have a photo of dill Havarti specifically right here. Yeah, it usually has a thin edible rind that forms during the aging process. Some variations may have a wax coating to preserve moisture, which I find pretty cool. I feel like the wax is so interesting to me. Because like, who sees like first and foremost, like someone had like old milk and they were like, you know what, I'm gonna eat this. And then beyond that now, someone has the old milk and they're like, this is edible. You can understand Danish, probably. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I don't know if it's a real, I hope that's real. I looked it up, that's what I found, but I don't know, maybe it's wrong. I am not a doctorate in cheeseology. My apologies. I will become one, I promise. Once I get my PhD in cheeseology, y'all all will be sorry. My main goal is to blow up and get my PhD in cheeseology. But yeah, it's super good in my opinion. I think it's beautiful. I think Havarti garbage foods are crazy. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really crazy that they decided like, oh yes, I'm an amateur cheeseologist, yes. I am just starting my cheese journey. I hope you guys will all follow my cheese journey as I become cheesier and cheesier every freaking day. But yeah, so, I think it's super cool. Using microorganisms to make things delicious. Exactly! It works really well. Havarti has a mild and pleasant aroma with subtle tastes of, subtle notes of butter and milk. So it's pretty good. It's very like creamy. I think it's amazing on like pasta and all of that stuff. I think it's amazing. You can have like dill, caraway, jalapeno, smoked Havarti, which is super duper good, and it melts really well, in my opinion. So it's good for like grilled cheese, fondue, all of that. I call it artsy because you can use it all kinds of ways, and it melts really well, and I think you can do all kinds of culinary artwork with it, in my opinion. I think it's awesome. It's smoked, so good, absolutely amazing. It looks really cool. It looks really cool to me. I feel like that, like the inside looks like kind of like Manchego, which is wild because they're so different. Like look at the holes in it. It looks very similar to Manchego, right? But it's so different because Havarti is very soft, whereas a Manchego is much harder. They're also made with two different kinds of milk, so I think, you know, you have to think about how different the milk makes and how different, like, you know, how you make it. It makes it so different. Smoked Havarti is my bucket list. You never heard of smoked cheese? Are you serious? They have smoked Gouda. Very good. All very good. But yeah, smoked. It's smoked. So I would say Havarti, given the fact that it's, I feel like, taste-wise, like, amazing. I think triple S tier. The fact that it can melt, it can, like, maneuver around really easily. You know what I mean? So I think it has all kinds of, different ways to go about like getting around places. So I think it could like do like a venom trick and like take over my body and like possess me and then like, you know, move me around. So I'm scared of it. Yes, smoked cheeses are so good. I'm sorry, Colty, that you've never had smoked cheese. That makes me incredibly sad. I am so sad to hear that. That makes me really upset. But yes, so Havarti OP, absolutely OP. Herd milk, I'm paying attention, I swear, yes. They smell incredible and smoked meat, yes. Smoked meats are really good. Alright, so this is my second to last case. I call this one Provolone, aka the Provoloner. I call it the Provoloner because sometimes you can make it in a cave, which means it's by itself. I also feel like provolone, I don't know. I feel like it's, like, I like to use it a lot in, like, freaking sandwiches and stuff. So I like it. It's a semi-hard Italian cheese with a smooth texture and a mild nutty flavor. It's often used in sandwiches, salads, and as a melting cheese, but Havarti, in my opinion, is much better. However, I use provolone because I have it everywhere. It's my cheese of choice for my subs because They actually have it, but if they had Havarti, as far as I know, I don't know any, like, you know, the classic Italian sub cheese, exactly. I don't know any places that actually sell Havarti, like, at a sub place. So, I get provolone, because it's fun. It's typically made from cow's milk, although variations using sheep's or goat's milk can also be found, right? It can go from, like, super young and mild to very sharp in age. The aging process, as I've said before, contributes to changes in flavor and in texture. But that's always my choice to Subway. Exactly. It's pretty good. I think it's a good choice. In my opinion, it's a pretty good choice. I mean, if they had Havarti, I would go for that. Oh, yeah. So, some places, the way that they will shape it is in, like, this garlic-looking, like, shape. They call it, like, a pear shape. I think it looks like garlic. And it'll come in, like, this little bell thing. It's really interesting looking. I didn't know that they made it that way. I thought it was very different, you know? It has its roots in southern Italy, with a history dating back to southern Roman times, and it's become one of the most popular Italian cheeses. The name provolone comes from the Italian word provola, which means large provola or globe shaped, because they used to make it in a weird, like, you know, garlic shaped thingy. It's often used in Italian American dishes like sandwiches, subs, pizzas, and casseroles. It's a staple in Italian cuisine, and is often used, big on those buttery notes, very buttery, I agree. Absolutely. It has a smooth and edible rind. So, you know. Yeah, we have customizable, you don't have customizable fast food? I like butter. I like butter too. It's very buttery. Absolutely. Mild aroma hits the butter and a subtle nuttiness. Subtle. It's not super versatile in my opinion. I looked it up, people said it's versatile. I don't think so. I personally don't believe it's versatile. I don't feel like you can eat it by itself. You have to buy like a very expensive kind to eat it by itself, in my opinion. I don't think this is like a cheese that you can have on your table and you just pick it up and you eat it straight. That's what I feel like. I don't think it'll work very well, you know? So that's what I think. Exactly, like you can't just eat. If you're eating straight provolone, I'm gonna smack you in the back of your head, you know, like what are you doing? Don't eat that. I feel like it's just very like, I don't know, you can't eat it by itself, you know? And so, what I say special about it is that it's a cave dweller. Because sometimes it'll be aged in caves or cellars, so it's provoloner. Yeah, see, it's a provoloner because it sits in the freaking cave alone, by itself. It's alone. That's why you eat the cheese with the complimentary wax. Exactly. Always eat the moldy rind, because if you don't eat the moldy rind, then what are you doing with your life? You know? Eating provolone by itself is the cardinal sin. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like you really, really have to eat it with something. I don't know anyone who eats provolone by itself. That sounds horrible. Like goat cheese, sure, that's fine. You could probably eat manchego alone, but freaking provolone, absolutely not. And so for that reason, I say the versatility is not crazy high. 8th sin just dropped. Eating provolone by itself, horrible. Absolutely illegal. Yeah. I think it's alright. It tastes so different melted. Yeah, it tastes a lot better melted. And I think that's why, like, I always order my sub sandwiches with the, like, toasted thing so that the cheese melts. Because I prefer it, I don't like it cold. It doesn't taste good cold. At least not in my opinion. 11th commandment drop, do not eat the provolone alone. Exactly. God came down from the heavens and was like, don't eat provolone by itself. Believe it or not, straight to jail. Having provolone, eating provolone that's cold, straight to jail. Provolone pride. Do not eat prov alone. Exactly. Yeah, please do not. If I see you guys eating provolone by itself, I'll be so angry. I'm not joking. I will like straight up just like warp to where you are and like punch it out of your hand. I'm sorry. If you're eating it by itself, no! That's illegal! That's horrible. I'm gonna like do like a mail-in ballot measure to make sure that no one's allowed to eat provolone just straight up by itself. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrific. Horrible, in my opinion. Alright guys, so new cheese law passed, exactly. I have this one, I say B tier. I'm sorry. I don't like it's good. And the thing is, it's my cheese of choice when I go places. But like, I don't know. Not my thing. I feel like I could beat up provolone. I can just lock it in a cave or a cellar and it will never come out and I don't have to fight anymore. And I already arrested that thing. So as a detective, I simply must say that the provoloner, absolutely case closed. Case closed. So, I got my last one. Okay. And it's the best one. Okay? This is the final one, number 10. American cheese. I call it the realest, the coolest, and the bestest cheese of all time. Listen, it's the best for a reason. A classic, yes. American cheese. America! Rah! Rah! What the fuck is a color? Yeah! Yes! Freedom! It's a freedom cheese. It's basically made, it's the best thing ever, okay? Should have known. Look at that. I got a bald eagle. I got a tear in my eye. American cheese. Its flavor profile. Amazing with a capital A. Not plasticky. The texture is extremely good, I promise. The aroma, beautiful. Stars and stripes forever.
So, just chill out.
Versatility, yes.
You know, drink the
Special,
7
the
Up.
most
Eat a moon
special,
pie.
okay?
Quit murdering
How many
people.
donuts for donuts? Yes! Listen, don't hit me because I'm right. It's the best one. Kraft Singles, introduced in 1949, is one of the most well-known brands of American cheese. Kraft Singles is amazing. I am a founding father. I am the founding cheese father. I am the cheese dad. It is amazing. Grilled cheese sandwiches. That's it. That's it. That's done. Crafting the ultimate. I am the ultimate American. Ultimate American. I love this, yes. Cheese. Yes, my fellow Americans. Today, we embark on a to convince everyone that American cheese is absolutely real cheese. We shall make sure that every single European accepts American cheese supremacy. We'll use any other form. Listen, I don't even know what a meter is. Don't tell me meters. No centimeters, no grams. It's pounds. LBS. LBS. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys. So this concludes my thing. I say American cheese, quadruple S plus tier. Okay? The end. That's it. Okay? I will see you guys all in class next time. That is it. That is it. That's the end. So, I hope you guys all appreciate. Someone say oil. Rah! All right. So that's the end of what I have to say. I have made my case, and my case is correct. Correct. So that concludes this investigation into cheesedom. I truly felt freedom today. Yes, this is Manifest Destiny. What flavor of freedom do you want? What flavor of freedom do you want?
You know,
Yes,
drink
let
a
me
7 Up.
see.
Eat a moon pie. Quit
Stop
murdering
murdering
people.
I will now raid somebody. Give me raid. Give me raid. I will raid real fast. Before I lose my freedom. Stop hitting me! Are you guys doing this because you're gonna run out of time? Okay, listen. Keep it easy. Take it cheesy, breezy. Land of the freezy. Rah! Rah! Alright, guys. We're gonna raid now. Take the vibe. Alright, guys. Be nice. I will see you guys later. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Stars and stripes forever. I hope everyone has a great rest of your night. I hope everyone sleeps well. I hope everyone has American grilled cheese sandwich. Alright, bye-bye.